na na. How you doing, my friends, my sisters, my brothers, my cousins? All right, this is the new Luffy. All right, can you get excited? This is the brand new Monkey D. Luffy, alright, okay, this is gonna be crazy. I already saw this trailer, but I'm still ecstatic for it, alright? I don't know if that's a word, but I'm using it because it makes sense. That's the freedom of Joy Boy, alright? I'm just kidding. Anyways, this is actually pretty good because Luffy is the perfect counter to Kizaru, but not just that. He's the perfect counter to most defenders, right? Not just because he's the new character, but because of what the character got. I hope you're understanding that. It's because of what the character got, right? This Gear 5 Luffy, I think, is the craziest character we've ever gotten in terms of the amount of moves and skill set and differences that he can have. You know what I mean? You can compare him to other characters, but this is actually quite unique, alright? Not by a long margin, but he has the abilities and traits of other characters, alright? Alright, you know, he has the whole Bruno teleporting flag thing, which is pretty cool, alright? Let's get into this and let's see him for real. This is 4 Emperors Monkey D Luffy. Basic attack Mo pistol. That's pretty cool. This right here. It negates Kizaru's skill 1 and skill 2 because Kizaru needs you to be in the treasure area to, you know, capture, right? You know, to attack you. But now Luffy has the ability to capture outside the area, and the gigantic form is pretty neat too. I think also here you can also capture from a little distance, but I'm not really sure. And Luffy's one of those attacker / runner characters, alright? He's pretty crazy, honestly. He is pretty crazy, alright? I think he reminds me of Divine Departure Shanks, right? And overall, I think, yeah, no, this is gonna be a pretty cool EX to use. I hope he's not super broken. I know he's gonna be broken to an extent, but I hope he's not super broken, you know what I mean? That, oh yeah, no, he's also very not fun to fight against, but attackers are usually the ones who give you such problems. Now, I want us to look at his traits, alright? Let's look at his traits. It's Nullify, Shock, and Entrance. I don't even know what Entrance is, if I'm being honest, because, I don't know, some people have tried to explain it, but I don't really get what Entrance is, but Nullifying Shock is a pretty insane thing to have. It negates Nami, of course. It negates most characters, like even V1 Luffy. It negates most characters who use any lightning abilities, even, like, how do I say, like, subconsciously. But we don't have that many of the characters anymore. It's just a Nami kind of thing. But if anyone wants to use any old characters, they can too. Then after holding down normal attack during the first hit, during the first hit of a normal attack combo, the second hit of the attack changes. The character enters transformation into or out of the Gum Gum Giant form. That's how we get the Gum Gum Giant form, alright? And then when changing into Gum Gum Giant form, increase attack by 30%. This is what I was talking about. He's also an attacker. He's not just a runner. He's an attacker and runner. That's advice. Put some attack medals on this guy when you get him, right? Put some attack medals on this guy when you get him, right? He's gonna be pretty cool. And it's for 20 seconds. So for your own advantage, you can just swap out of the two, right? You don't really need to be in giant form for that long. So that's pretty cool, right? 20 seconds is like, how do I say it? I think it's an eighth of the match. I'm not really calculating. I'm randomizing, you know, I'm estimating. But yeah, 20 seconds, that's a pretty long time, actually. This character cannot change into the Gum Gum Giant form when areas that big characters cannot. Okay, that's pretty, you know, that makes sense, right? That's pretty sensible. When attacked by a character type Navy, remove enemy's attack increase. Oh my days. This is a direct Kizaru and Garp counter. And I think also Kuzan, but he doesn't really get attack increase traits, right? Unless he eats the, you know, the whole platter of food. Reduce the cooldown of skill 2 by 5%. Wow, that's naturally, this is naturally, all right? Resist stagger Being downed and knocked back for a set period of time after skill 1 is used. That's pretty cool. And remove status effects and nullify effects and status. Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh my days. This guy just, you can't touch him. That's the true representation of freedom. Here's his other normal traits. Can capture treasure from a certain area outside the treasure area unless there is a large difference in elevation. I don't know what maps would have that, but I don't really know what maps would have that. I can't think of any right now, but majority of the maps will not have this problem. Can capture treasure without moving to the center. That's the same thing, which is again the Kizaru direct counter, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then when you capture the treasure, recover 30% HP and reduce the cooldown time of skill 1 by 20%. All right, skill 1 is being very buffed here. All right, skill 1 is being buffed. I know. I'm pretty excited for this character. All right, the third hit of a normal attack combo deals damage at the enemy's feet. This is gonna be the rubber effect. You know, that's gonna be the rubber effect. It's probably gonna, of course, it's probably gonna have insane knockback. Now let's look at his Gum Giant traits. Can ignore the enemy and capture the treasure. Oh my days, that's pretty cool. Damage received from enemies is based on your attack rather than your defense. This is what I was talking about. I'm not really 100% sure what this means, but from what I understand it to be, it's that it's gonna substitute, your attack potency for your defense. Let's say you have 300 attack, it's gonna give you 300 defense, basically, right? That's how I'm understanding this, but anyone who understands it in a much clearer detail, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, all right? Correct me if I'm wrong. When you start capturing the enemy's treasure, transform the treasure area where you're into a gum. Oh my days, bro. Like, you can't even outdo this man's, bro. That's just awesome, bro. That's just awesome. Unilaterally, this is just #1 character, right? This is #1, and I want him to be above Garp in the unlocking thing. It just bothers me when like an older EX is above a newer EX. It's just the me thing, all right? It's just the me thing. All right, but no, that's pretty crazy. And then Gum treasure area can unleash an area of attack that deals damage 200 with a chance to inflict tremor for 3 seconds. As we see in the trailer, it's actually there in the trailer, all right? That's pretty cool. Oh my days. The rubber transformation will disappear after you capture the area when interrupted while capturing the treasure area or after you're KO'd. All right, when interrupted, I want us to think about that part. I've not seen Luffy have the ability to negate stun. I don't think he has the negating stun ability, but he's still pretty good. Like, the only person who can fight against him would be like Roger and other characters who can stun. I'm not really sure who these characters are, but hey, big character traits. When performing a perfect guard, deals mid-range area attack that inflicts stagger. All right, that's pretty good. When performing a perfect guard, recover 30 HP. That's very useful. That's very useful. Reduce the cooldown time of guard by 100%. Wait, what's guard? Oh wait, oh yeah, no, I remember that. It's some Dory and Boogie have the same things. Alright, I forgot that it's normal dodge, it's guard. I don't know how I just forgot, I just read it. Anyways, Luffy's abilities and traits. Trait 1, when your HP is 50% or more, increase capture speed by 50. Bro, that's just crazy. And for, us F2P people, we're gonna be having him at level 80 for the longest time. So this is actually pretty good. This is pretty good. You're gonna have him at just about 64% capture speed increase for a light element runner. So that's gonna be very, very quick. And with how much recover HP traits he has, that's very, very useful. And then while you're capturing treasure area, resist stagger and being down. Do you see that? Let's keep going. When respawned, increase the cooldown time of skill 1 by 50%. That's a lot of percents. That's a lot of percent. Everything on this guy is 30, 50, 20. Oh my days. And increase the speed by 30% for 10 seconds. Of course, you cannot stack it because how many times are you going to die within 10 seconds? But no, that's pretty cool, right? And then trait 2, when your HP is 30% or more, reduce damage received by 30%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 1 HP will be left even after KO'd by enemy. Ineffective if HP is exactly 1. All right, it's not another Odin thing. It'd be cool if it was, but hey, that's fine. That's fine. When attacked by an enemy skill, reduce damage received by 50%. Whoa. And then recover. Oh my days. You recover 5% HP. That's pretty cool. Boost trait. All right. I mean, come on. We're all gonna boost this character. When hit with knockback by enemy, reduce the cooldown time of skill 2 by 20%. 20%. That's pretty good. And then team boost. You get an extra attack boost. Greatly increase the team's attack when okay, that's pretty good, man. Luffy. Wow. Luffy is the character, right? Luffy is the character. He's a pretty good runner, but this dude is basically attacker and runner without having to change, all right? Except, you know, of course, changing to your giant form. But no, that's pretty cool. Let's go on to, of course, his skill 1 and skill 2. But first, we'll start by his, of course, you know, his normal abilities before we go giant. Gum Dawn Rocket. All right, this skill, its cooldown is 33 seconds, which is a long time, but with all the skill 1 cooldowns, it doesn't even matter. You're probably gonna wait like 10 seconds or so at most. And then okay, so it says begin charging by holding down the skill button, reduces damage taken, reduces the chance of getting pushed away when attacked by an enemy while skill is active. Whoa, bro, that is just crazy. That's just crazy on it. Of course, it doesn't nullify, but reducing, I mean, hey, I'd rather have something than nothing. All right. And then of course we have stagger is nullified for a set period of time. This skill cannot be used in certain areas, okay, where there are obstacles overhead. There is a cooldown effect for a set period of time at the start of the battle. So you don't start with the attack, which I guess with the you know, the getting from one place to the other trait, which is pretty good. That's fair. You know what I mean? And then when the enemy has a treasure area, if you let go of the skill button before the charge is completed, the charge will cancel and you will move, and you will move, right? If the charge is finished, you will move to a different area. Okay, that's pretty good. Now here's the specifications. When it's not charged, move a distance from the center of the enemy's treasure area closest to you and perform a mid-range area attack, which is pretty good. Then when charged, move a set distance from the center of the enemy's treasure area that's furthest from you and perform a mid-range area attack. So anyone who's within your mid-range is pretty much cooked. But of course it depends how much attack you give him. Then when the enemy has no treasure area, your charging will be interrupted and you will deal a mid-range area attack after a certain amount of time has passed after letting go. Oh, I think this is like I think Kaido too, that if there's nowhere for you to teleport, he's gonna attack the person directly in front of you. So that's pretty good. Now his skill 2, the Star Gun, the one that people like so much. I was hoping for the Booming Dun Gatling, but hey, this is I think this is perfect, right? Its cooldown is 37 seconds. Okay, this is much longer than skill 1, and it doesn't have that many cooldown helpers, but it's fine. I think if it's broken, then yeah, it makes sense. A long range area, that's pretty good. Long range area attack with a chance to stun, knocks enemies back if stun couldn't. Oh my day, bro! Like it's a lose-lose situation if you get attacked with this thing, bro. And then damage dealt will be disregarded. Will disregard damage reduction. Right, damage dealt with disregard damage reduction. So wow. Attack ignores obstacles. Oh, this is what I want. This right here is what I want. And become temporarily invincible after use, increases damage against Navy. Yes, let's go. I hate Garp. I still have salt against Garp. All right, he ruined my Roger and Shanks era. So I'm glad anything that can make Garp feel just that bit, you know, more useless. But of course, you know, this is light elements, but hey, Garp is a Navy and he's definitely gonna get cooked by this. I don't know what just happened there. My device is just bugging out. But okay, Star Gun We already went through that. Now let's go. Gum Gum Giant's abilities and skills. Skill 1 is the Free Roam Spirit, okay? Cooldown same. Deals a mid-range attack while skill button is being held down, so pretty good distance. Reduces damage taken and reduces chance of getting pushed away when attacked by enemy while skill is active. Deals a long-range area attack after a certain period of time, or when the button is released. You are able to move while holding down the skill button, nullify stagger for a set period of time, and acquires defense debuff effect. The effect is at level 5. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good too. I don't think I'll be using that ability a lot. I don't really know. Now we go to the Fist of Freedom. Alright, I was reading in the wrong order. This is my device was just bugging out. A long range area attack with a knockback effect. Alright, damage dealt will disregard damage reduction, and attack ignores obstacles. That's gonna be pretty crazy for places like Paratie, other places where Luffy can actually, when he's actually like at eye level or so with whatever area it is, it's actually gonna be very deadly for any flag, any mid flag. You know what I mean? That's in between stuff, especially Baratie more than anything. But this is actually pretty crazy. Long range area, so that's pretty good. And then of course, become temporarily invincible after use, and increases damage dealt against Navy characters. I love how we're bullying Navy characters. That's my favorite thing of this character. But that's about it. So here's my advice. If you're still here, thank you very much. I really appreciate you for still being here, if you're still sticking around. Please consider subscribing and hitting that like button and share this very important information I'm about to mention. Please do not buy. Please don't buy, right? Please don't spend your money unless you have a lot of money to burn. Let's say you bought 4 or 5 tickets, all right? That's gonna cost you, in my country, just around 4,000 Rand, all right? That's 4,000 Rand, and that's a lot of money, honestly. That can cover your groceries. You know, if it's just you, that can cover your groceries for months. If with me and my family, it's only 3,000 we spend on groceries, and that's only if we're buying anything we want, you know, just anything stupid. So yeah, no, I'm advising you, don't spend money on this game. I'm not trying to harsh on another business, but don't spend money on this game if you don't have the money to burn. I'm looking out for you as your brother, all right, as your cousin and as your friend. Please do not spend money on this game, right? Because even if you buy 4 tickets, it doesn't guarantee. To get to a guarantee, bro, you can feed families with that money, right? You can feed like alliances with that money. I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Just, it's not really worth it for your character, who probably is gonna be useless in some time, maybe, if the time comes. Yeah, no. But I think that's gonna be it, all right? I really hope I have cleared this up for you. You know, just a little bit better about how these skills work. But this is pretty exciting, right? This is pretty exciting. So tomorrow, he's releasing tomorrow. I won't make any gameplay on him, you know, because AKA, I'm an F2P guy. I'm gonna get him, but when I get him, I get him. It's not gonna be when I feel like it. But hey, I could get him now, could get him tomorrow. Whenever, you know. Yeah, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Come on, you get what I mean. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for Luffy. That's gonna be it for Luffy. I can't wait to see this guy in game, to see how he fares against characters like Garp especially, but I think he's gonna be pretty good. He's already a fun character, so yeah, you know, I would definitely summon on him if you can. Yeah, summon on him if you can, but I don't recommend spending money on him. You know, I don't particularly recommend that, but hey, I love you, the Lord loves you, and yeah, there's no message for today, just an encouragement. Stay strong in the Lord and in his mighty power, and bear fruits of the Spirit. Bear the fruit of the Spirit, all right? I love you. Amen.